This is the Kitchen Table War Story Series, ground zero for the legendary tales of the mineral space.
Man, there was this old West Texas landman, and he was out in Big Lake, Texas, cutting a deal. So this landman moseys out and goes to the payphone and calls the mineral owner, he's a rancher, and says, "I'm ready to make the deal. Let's get it done." And he says, "That's fine, but we have to have the deal done by 5 o'clock. Well, the thing about Big Lake to Midland, it's about an hour and 30 minutes, and the deal has to be done by 5, and it's around 3:30. So he doesn't have any time. So this landman jumps in his truck, and he takes off. And he's speeding down Highway 67. That's the road everyone takes to get back to Midland, going through Rankin. And on his way, he runs through all this stuff with construction. You've got service trucks, water trucks. You've got everything in the way. You know, he's sweating bullets because he wants to get there. So he's speeding, passing cars, service trucks. It's a dangerous road, to say the least. So as he's doing this, he gets a few miles down the road, and he realizes that he just passed a sheriff's deputy. Well, as he passes this sheriff's deputy, he recognizes him. So he doesn't stop, and he keeps going. Well, a few miles later, this deputy catches up to him, and the red and blues come on. Well, he doesn't stop because he got to get this deal done. Well, that doesn't sit well with the state of Texas. And so the guy catches up to him, the sheriff deputy gets out, and needless to say, he's not happy. Well, come to find out, the deputy's his cousin. Out in West Texas, everybody knows everybody, and everybody's related. Well, his cousin had heard about this deal, and they've been talking about it, and he said, "I need to get there by 5 o'clock. The deputy decides to put him in his car, and they start driving into Midland with a police escort. Just one car. So on the way in, they're passing cars. He's got his lights on. But on the way in, they finally get to Midland. Man, they're probably about 10 minutes left in the day. And the thing about Midland is they call it the tall city, but it's notorious because the elevators are slow. And this was decades ago. So this older gentleman is forced to take the stairs. As he's running up these stairs, it goes up like 5 stairs, 6, 7 flights. And I think this was on like the 13th floor. So he finally gets there. And when he busts through the door to go into this guy's office, he runs in and the secretary's locking the door. Come to find out, the attorney for this rancher is out of the office today. So for him, it was one hell of an experience, but he was able to call the rancher. And just because of that caveat, they were able to cut this deal the next morning.
A few years later.
Coincidentally, there's a follow-up story with this family. On another occasion, similar situation, he's leaving the courthouse, and he's doing something similar to what he was doing the time before. But this time, as he's speeding along, he passes, guess who? His cousin once again. But this day, his cousin has a ride-along. I guess it's a trainee, so they got to stick to the rules. Well, landman's not too happy about that. Cousin tells him tough shit. It is what it is. So they get in a fight on the side of the road. This deputy's trainee gets out, doesn't really know what to do. So as they're fighting, cousin kind of loses the battle, catching his wind. I don't think it was too bad of a scrap, but he was winded enough to where his cousin goes to the trooper in the car, reaches in and tries to like pop the trunk to put his cousin inside the trunk, and he's going to take him to the sheriff's office and tell the sheriff what his cousin has done. Well, needless to say, in that situation, it didn't work out well for the landman. He ends up spending the night in jail. And I just wanted to share that story because in West Texas, back then, what I was always told was it was the Wild West and you couldn't tame it.